Our country continues to say goodbye to its greatest generation. The World War II Museum estimates more than 200 veterans who served in that war die every single day. With them, their stories and memories.
Now, sadly, Winston-Salem lost one of its veterans this weekend. Jule Christian Spock was a pilot in Europe and was a prisoner of war.
He told his story to our Cameron Kent back in 2001.
It was 1943. The letters from the American GIs in Europe told their families they'd be home soon. But for some, soon wouldn't be soon enough. Jule Spock was only 19, just 1 year out of Reynolds High School, and already the pilot of a B-24 Liberator flying out of southern Italy.
You don't think anything about it when you're that young. In fact, it was a big adventure.
His early letters home to his mother told of the milk runs, the easy raids over France. But then came the mission over Budapest.
My airplane got hit by flak and knocked both engines out on the right wing. And also, at the time, I turned my airplane upside down, and the plane fell for several thousand feet and out of control.
He survived that, but August of '44, Spock had another crippled plane he was trying to land in Corsica.
But I didn't make it, and had to bail out over the Mediterranean Sea, and I had to swim for about 6 hours to get to a coast.
The next correspondence his mother received was this telegram from the War Department. Lieutenant Jule Spock was missing in action. His family didn't know if he was dead or alive.
I guess I was more worried about what they were worried about me than I was about myself, because I knew that I was okay.
But his situation was going to get worse. Picked up by a German patrol, Spock was sent to a POW camp in Poland. That meant another telegram home that also brought his family the anguish of not knowing how he was faring as a prisoner of war.
It was no picnic, let's put it that way.
The winters were harsh, food was scarce. Spock was down to 98 pounds. He could only send one letter a month, censored by the Nazis, but he always tried to keep it positive.
I never ever mentioned any of the real problems that we were having there in terms of the weather, which was very cold, or the feeling of lack of freedom, which was probably one of the most terrible parts of being a prisoner of war, is that lack of freedom, lack of food, that type of thing. In my letters that I'd write home, everything was fine. That was the way I would put it.
On May 7, 1945, Germany surrendered. 2 days later, Patton's army liberated Spock's POW camp. This is the first letter he wrote as a newly freed man.
Dearest Mom, I am so darn excited I can hardly even concentrate enough to write a half-decent letter. But sweetheart, I'm a free man again. And oh, what a feeling to be able to do what you want, to write what you want, and to have no fences to hold you in. No, Mom, there's no place like the good old United States of America, and nothing in the world like freedom.
After a year as a POW, it would still be weeks before Spock could return to Winston-Salem. In the meantime, he would have to depend on his final letter from war to liberate his family from their prison of worry.
And when I think of the grief it's caused you, it just about breaks my heart. Not to be able to say what you want in letters or let you know my feelings. But it's all over now, darling, and I'm coming home. Just a few more days and we'll be together again.
Remarkable story, remarkable man. Cameron Kent reporting there. Jule Spock went on to become a missionary in Brazil for the Presbyterian Church and later helped to develop Arbor Acres, which is a retirement community in Winston-Salem.
And he also wrote a book about his experiences called Every Road Leads Home. Jule Spock was 98 years old.